America. It's the greatest country on earth, a nation of diversity, strength, patriotism. Now, for years, we've called ourselves the United States. But you put on the TV, the news, log on to social media, you sort of have to wonder if we've become the divided states. It feels like we're living in the Twilight Zone. There's this narrative circulating that police officers are racist killers, despite the data that shows this couldn't be further from the truth. We now have politicians who are openly embracing anarchy, protecting criminals who break the law while handcuffing our law enforcement officers. Our cities are burning, our officers are bleeding, our businesses are being torched. We're being told don't go out in public because of a pandemic unless you go out to support anti-police protests. And apparently the solution to this problem is to defund them so that they can't afford to be properly trained, properly staffed, or properly protected. And if God forbid you speak out against it, you are shamed, doxxed, attacked, humiliated, and targeted. Many of you were proudly displaying the thank you first responder signs in the windows of your home, while police officers drove by with lights and sirens in a parade to wish your child a happy birthday. Now you're taking them down because you're worried that the signs and thin blue line flags will make you a target. You're told silence is violence if you don't speak out against police. Well, guess what? Silence is anarchy. And while America burns, your fear of supporting the police is leading them to believe that they are hated in America. Our team at Law Enforcement Today believes that the overwhelming majority of Americans support law enforcement, but you're afraid to say it. You are afraid of the repercussions. You feel alone, like you're the only people in your neighborhood that actually support the cops. Today, we change that. Right here, right now. Because there are currently approximately 850,000 sworn law enforcement officers out there who did not sign up for this. They signed up to serve and protect and to keep you and your family safe. And now they are under attack. Today, backup has arrived. And this time, it's all of us. I'll never forget the interview I did with an officer who was shot in the line of duty. He told me the greatest sound he ever heard was the sound of sirens.
I called out for help, and all my brothers from different counties, different states, were coming to help me.
Today, we are that backup. Countless officers have fought for us, have bled for us, have died for us.
118 South is my family, I love them.
I can't copy.
118 South, my family, I love them.
And now it's time for us to have their six. Americans naturally want to be a part of a winning team. I believe that's why everyone has been so quiet about their support for law enforcement. They think that they're in the minority. So let's do some math. There are approximately 331 million Americans. Now, according to a Gallup poll, 85% of Americans support law enforcement. That means 285 million Americans stand behind law enforcement. Now, let's say Gallup is wrong. Let's say I'm wrong. Let's say it's not the overwhelming majority of Americans that support law enforcement, which you and I both know it is. Let's say it's just 5% of Americans who support the police. 5%. That's 16.5 million people. At the height of World War II, the size of the United States military was approximately 12 million Americans. Our nation became back-to-back World War champions with an army that was only 12 million strong. It's time for us to get back to our roots and build that army of support. It's in our DNA as Americans to be protectors. We protect other countries. We protect innocent people. Our law enforcement have protected us and our families. It's time for us to step up and protect them. If you were walking down the street and you saw somebody physically attacking a police officer, are you going to pretend you didn't see it? Are you just going to walk by and pretend that officer wasn't being violently assaulted? Probably not. So why are you doing that here? Now, I'm not asking you to raise a fist, but I am asking you to raise your voices and get in this fight. You've seen what the cancel culture has done. They've shut down cops, they've shut down Live PD. I mean, they've even gone after Paw Patrol. And so here's how we are fighting back. We've hired dozens of new writers at Law Enforcement Today. Most of them are active, retired, or wounded police officers or their family members. Their sole job is to bring you the stories of what's really happening in America. And we're putting cinematographers on the road to capture the stories of police officers and patriotic Americans, the stories that the mainstream media often refuses to show you. Stop being the silent majority and be a part of the army that will help save America. You are not alone, but right now, our officers sure are. Backup has arrived, and this time, it's all of us. We will stand together, we will stand strong, and we will declare these are our officers, this is our country, this is our America. Today, we rise.